Looking down from his penthouse, an old man watches the city of New York come to life as the sun rests. Families crossing streets, enjoying the contained chaos that is the Big Apple. People's faces light up from the excessive amount of jumbo screens patterned across New York, exposing the smiles of several thousand individuals. The old man looked on, almost emotionless. He continued with his regular midday routine, not really doing much other than checking up on the news and pouring himself a glass of wine. There isn't much for him to do, really. Nobody visits, leaving him with only himself to hang out with, and maybe some friends if he would just put himself out there. After making a glass of Chambertin, he proceeds towards his antique bamboo rocking chair and makes himself comfortable before realizing that the batteries to his remote have died. There are some things money can't do, I guess, the old man whispered to himself. With the sun just about to set, the old man drapes over a tan coat with what seems to be llama fur on the inside of it. He grabs his key from the table and makes his way towards a little corner store a short walk away from his building. Once the old man opens the door to his building, he's greeted with a gust of cold air, sending goosebumps down his back. He tucks his hand into his llama fur pockets and puts his head down in an attempt to stop the cold air from hitting his neck. He wasn't very interested in making conversation with others, or any kind of social interaction really. He continued making his way down the bright city of New York as the faces of other happier-looking people flashed by, until he passed by a homeless man. "Any spare change, sir?" the homeless man asked. "Anything helps." The old man barely paid any attention, as he was only interested in making it to the store. The light from the moon was masked by the beaming neon lights greeting us in the front of the store. Ding dong, a little bell went off as the old man entered. The store was like any other corner store, lined with candy-filled aisles, weird grease stains on the floor, and the smell of cigarettes lingering around. But the old man wasn't looking for any of that. Slightly to the right of the cash register stood a little shelf lined with portable chargers, flashlights, and most importantly, batteries. His eyes study each of the batteries until they finally settle on a pack of 2 AA's. He quickly grabbed what he needed and made his way towards the cashier. While waiting in line, he couldn't help but to overhear the conversation in front of him between the cashier and the boy. He was a skinny guy, no more than 8 years old, wearing what looks to be beat-up Levi jeans and a sweater he probably got from his older brother. "That's going to be $1.50, kid," said the cashier. "But I only got $1, sir," the kid responded. "Come back when you got 50 cents then," the cashier said with slight attitude. The kid's eyes began to tear up as he stared at the unpaid candy bar sitting on the counter. Not knowing what to do, the kid stood there in the silence, hoping for something to happen. "I got the 50 cents, the old man offered. He wished he could have said that he did it out of the goodness of his heart. But really, the situation was getting awkward and the old man felt obligated to help. "All right, here's your candy bar, kid," he said as he handed over the bar. The kid turned over to the old man and gave him a thank you that made his heart feel what you can only describe as warm. As the kid left the store, the old man noticed him sit next to the homeless man he encountered when walking there. The homeless man draped a blanket over the kid, and they huddled together, protecting each other from the cold. Suddenly, the old man realized that though he's got all the money a person can ask for, he wasn't happy. But when he shared what he had with others, it meant a lot more to him. On the way back to the building, the old man carried himself differently. He had a little more purpose to his walk. He waved to the strangers passing by and held the door open for an old lady. As he was making his way to his house, just before getting to the building, he went up to the homeless man from earlier, dropped a few bucks into his hat, and smiled at the kid with the candy bar.